You might notice you're walking along the water on the pool, on the edge of the pool deck. It's called an overflow gutter. And one of the things we're asked a lot is what makes a fast pool? Well, fast swimmers make fast pools. However, we can help them. This is an overflow system. If you look close at that, you'll see the water's just trickling over the edge. It's not like the old days where the gutter was recessed and it would bounce back. So anytime the water comes up, it disappears there, so there's less turbulence. The depth of the water also makes a difference. That's why the competition pool is a little deeper than the warm-up pool. So if your hand goes down and displaces the water, it creates a current, it goes down and comes back up. So by the time it comes back up, the person's down a little further. Unless, of course, it's the media swim and you might be in the same place a little bit longer, you might get some more turbulence. Each of these lane ropes, $1,700.
Sit out, pull on them.
Athletes enjoy their Slurpees this morning. Kind of a new feature. They went over very, very well. They also get treats along the way. They were provided with the opportunity to purchase evening meals upstairs in the ballroom, so as not to have to go out at night into the area. And we had over 600 take that up, so they know where they're going to eat. It's just like an Olympic Village.
Smoothies were tweeted very popular this morning.
Were they? The far corner here, sorry to keep interrupting here, but those pigeonholes represent one for every club that's here, and that's how we communicate with the coaches and the managers. The results and the day's start list and any other information we want goes into their slots, and they come by and said, you know, Club Baltimore, the person will go over, pull out the information for Club Baltimore. It's a very simple system, but it works. It's also where the clerk of the course is located and multiple things there, so from a technical standpoint. So it's very centralized. You have to come in that door. They know where they are. They carry on. So we're going to go down the ramp. I just ask you to be careful. It's a little bit slippery. Has a bit of water on it, as you can imagine. And a little bit of water down here. Bottled water. 70,000 bottles of water. We will go through for this competition. That was at 7-0. Volunteers are continually replenishing the refrigerators so everybody can be hydrated, as well as 2.5 pallets of Powerade that we will mix up. Okay, this is really the transition zone from the warm-up space to the competition space. Most of the athletes will enter through that area there, pick up the material, see a few posters that the local school children have made. And then as we walk over, you'll notice there's 2 sets of stairs. Probably the busiest place in the entire building. It's the athlete's entrance to the pool deck. We work a pool deck in a circular motion. So you go up one side, you swim, you exit from the other side. The room that's directly on your left over here that's black draped is called the ready room or the last call room. That's where every swimmer starts their race. They sit there, they get lined up into the right lane, they wait for their time to be called up onto the pool deck, especially at night. It's a pretty tense area. NBC has a camera in there with no sound. There's a big monitor so they can watch the races. A lot of races have been won and lost in the last call room. It's where the nerves really kick in. So they will come off that room up a separate set of stairs onto the pool deck. They'll be escorted onto the deck, introduced, and do their swim. So what we're going to do is we're going to come up on the staircase, same route that the swimmer takes, and we'll go on and stand behind the starting blocks. We'll talk to you a little bit about the timing equipment and what's on the pool deck. Any questions before we get up there?
I think the one thing for the cameras in particular, this is what the swimmers see as they walk up to 13 or 14,000 people.
As a matter of fact, we'll take you right up through the call room. It's a bit crowded, but you'll actually get the feel for what it's like, if you don't mind. Now, could you just make sure that turns up? Go up through the call room and then pull it back. This way. Keep going straight to the rear. Yeah. Up that way, back over. Back one. Keep going. Okay. So on the first night, Ryan Lochte, 400 IM, etc. will be sitting in one of these chairs, hopefully in lane 4. Come on through. NBC has their camera watching. Swimmers will be actually watching what's on the races ahead of time. And when their heat is called or their final is called, it's time to move it. You can all imagine what that feels like. So they get off their chair, they come up the staircase. Right about here you're saying, holy cow, it's about time. So here we go. There's every swimmer starts. Cannot avoid it. If you avoid it, you're not swimming because you have to turn in your credentials. And that's how we can tell who's missing or who's sent to the race. And then at the end, when you go down the stairs, you pick up your credential, and that's where doping control, if you've been selected, will hand you your card back with a nice little note to sign. Okay, so welcome to the pool deck, Olympic Trials. Athlete seating is somewhat unique for an Olympic Trials, and very few countries in the world do this. We provide our athletes with the very best seats in the house. So section 123, 125, 127 is where the athletes sit. Prime seats, they deserve it, otherwise we wouldn't be here. So it's going to be a very crowded area. The deck itself is 25 feet wide. The area behind us are the private boxes that have been sold to corporations. And then at the end we're going to come and show you something rather special. But let me just talk a little bit while we're here about the starting blocks and how that interfaces with the timing. Are you guys okay with that, or do everybody know about the timing? 2-minute version? Okay.
Right there.
To start with, the starting block is movable. You can adjust the back pin according to how you wish to start. This is exactly the same block that will be used in London. Everything you see here is identical. It's not just a starting block, it's actually a time-sensitive, weight-sensitive block. So inside the block, which is $4,000 each, there's a lot of mechanisms, not the least of which is a speaker and the timing. So at the start of the race, when the horn goes, if you looked up at the scoreboard, you'll see what's called a reaction time. And that's the time it takes for the swimmer to leave the block until there's no longer any pressure on the block. And that's usually anywhere from 0.60 to 0.8 of a second. So that's weight-sensitive block. They swim the race, they come back, they touch the yellow pad, that stops the clock. Okay? If, for whatever reason, that did not work correctly, if you look up, you'll see some cameras. They're directly over top of the lanes, and this is what saved Michael Phelps in Beijing. Those are shooting at such a quick pace that the people in the mega booth can dial back the frames and see the instant that the hand, the fingernail touch the wall, and it has a time factor on it. That would be the correct time. So the integration is the starting block, the touchpad to the camera. It's a wonderful system. It works. It's backup, triple redundancy in terms of battery and backup computers, so it's very little chance of failing. Even if the power went off in the building, the timing would still work. Okay, for those of you who were here in 2008, you got a reasonable number who were here in 2008? Okay. We had a few fireballs and a few fireworks and a few. We have more than a few this time. Each of these black boxes on the deck contain 12 fire flames. And they will be shot off in different sequences, and that's all I'm going to tell you about it. Except they're on both sides of the pool this time. So I would suggest that anyone who wants to bring marshmallows and sit in the first row, it would be a very good opportunity. We're going to have some fun with it. They can be programmed in many, many different ways. The idea is certainly not to interfere with the race, but to reward the person who wins the race, makes the Olympic team, to have some audience participation. So all the special effects you'll see in the lighting is, for the competition itself, is absolutely plain Jane. Pre that and post that, we have some entertainment to make in an event. The swimming competition is the most important aspect to get the kids on the team, but then after that we have a little bit of free license.